Chris Klein's audition for John Wick went poorly. I'm Justin.
Cowboy, hot dog, dog shit. This is more like lady cat poop plate stuff. I'm Sam.
Who knew that roller skates were so fucking cool? I'm Jackie, and this is Rollerball on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. I forgot the part about the good podcast being bad movies, but bad people. But that's what the show is. And we're back this week with a stinker, one of the biggest box office flops of the teens. No, I mean the aughts. It's not the... You always kind of botch that when you, the teens, the 20s. But you always forget how to say the aughts. The aughts!
The aughts. I just call it the 2000s.
2000s, yeah.
Or turn of the century.
Sorry, Chris Klein, Rebecca Romaine's cans, LL Cool's J's, that guy who's always Russian and bad? Leon? Is that Leon? That's Leon the Professional, right?
That's Gene.
Yeah, Jean Reno.
John Reno, yeah.
Gene Reno? Is that what you were going to say, Jackie?
Janet Reno.
Yeah.
In 2002,
Gene Reno.
2002's Rollerball, currently streaming on Tubi TV. Sam, go to you.
Allegedly, the original script for this was very good. But Johnny McTee,
guys,
somebody that read it. That's the thing, is that sources were needed on that one. Well, here's the deal.
Okay.
The first Rollerball is pretty decent.
It's pretty decent. Starring Jimmy.
The source material's pretty decent.
Jimmy Can.
So even if the first draft of the script wasn't gangbusters, they're working from good source material.
Yeah. I actually back in the day, when you were studying film sort of and like cult classics, Rollerball with James Caan really kind of didn't enter my radar very much. Like, it was Logan's Run and Marathon Man and Omega Man. Those were the big three of the 70s science fiction. And then Rollerball didn't enter my radar until probably 10 years ago when I was like, holy shit. What the hell, man? This movie should be... It's not a perfect film, but it's pretty
I think
decent
Rollerball's
science fiction film.
Better movie than Logan's Run.
Logan's Run is fun, though.
It is fun.
It's fun.
That's what you can say.
Carousel.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
I think the idea behind Logan's Run is a little bit hard-hitting if you were going to just write ideas on paper and keep it to a paragraph. Mm-hmm. From a high-concept idea, I guess.
Right.
High-concept, air quotes. But I think Rollerball is a better executed film.
It is. It's also very efficient as well.
Yeah. Norman Jewison directed that, as well as the Thomas Crown Affair. I wasn't even going to mention this, but since we're talking about it, John McTiernan remade both of those movies by him.
Oh, no kidding. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And the new Thomas Crown Affair is not great, but it's not Rollerball. What the hell, John McTiernan?
The first Thomas Crown Affair is actually, of the many films that Norman Jewison did, I would say that's the one I would dislike watching the most if someone was to present me with, hey, let's watch a movie by him, and then be like, can it please not be the Thomas Crown Affair? Okay. I saw Steve McQueen drive around for 45 minutes, fly a plane for 20 minutes. I mean, it was boring as fuck. Anyway, yeah, so he remade both of those. But this one, he's like, somebody said the script was good. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But here's the thing. Rollerball's really about society. Yeah. Not really about a sport that is inherently stupid.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck that bullshit.
Fuck it.
Johnny McTee doesn't like social commentary. He likes punching and titties.
Punching and titties. Who doesn't?
Punching and titties. So he made that.
I'm gonna pause you, Sam. Jackie, do you know who John McTiernan is?
He sounds familiar.
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay. Then
we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, just want to make sure Jackie's on the same page.
How
he is an important
the
director.
same man who directed such films would get here. So he delivered a 2-hour plus, very hard R film, and either the executives or the test audience is like, this is hard pass. So they're like, we need to redo this. We cannot release this film in its current state. So they didn't fire him.
Okay.
Because he's still got a little bit of steam in his boat. There's a little wind behind Johnny Mac's sails at this point. So he reshoots the shit himself. So they are going to make like a whole bunch more footage and then take a movie that was 2 hours plus and add some footage to it, like a lot of footage, change the ending entirely. And they're going to make that only 90 minutes. And now it's just a pile of shots.
That's what I think we have here, is a pile of shots.
Among the reshoots, I find the most interesting thing is the infamous, and I didn't realize, because I think I saw this when it came out, not at the theater. I did not go to the theater to see this, but like, this was like playing on somebody's TV when I was at a party, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, it's Rollerball, it's pretty good. And I'm like, it's like horse shit. Is it? That's why it's on while we're fucking playing beer pong?
God damn it. No.
Why is there a movie even on? Play Led Zeppelin or something, or whatever's big at that point. The Notorious B.I.G. I'll take it. Right? The infamous night vision sequence. When I'm watching this, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Did they just fuck this up or something? And then they added it because it's grainy beyond being in like, unless you're shooting like a Navy SEALs type scenario, you're not going to use night vision. So you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Well, apparently they shot it and it was too dark and they couldn't tell what was going on. So when they ordered the reshoots, they're like, hey, we can redo that. They shot it again and it was still too dark.
Oh my God.
So they just made it night vision looking.
That's so stupid. They're in a car. They're in a car. You can shoot in a car with lights. The cars have lights in them.
Going to use a process to make it better that was expensive or something, and I'm like, okay, we're going to start pinching pennies now, but they did that 2 times.
Never heard of a dome light.
It took 2 tries.
That's so bad
to get that fucking shit.
That's terrible. I thought that it was an intentional reason. Like when I watched it, I was like, dude, he did this to make it look, gritty. But knowing that it's just there because, oops, we don't know how lights work. I mean, I don't mean to harp on this, Sam, because you're a big camera guy and you like lighting and there's all sorts of, exposure rate and the lens shutter rates and all that. But there's a fucking dome light right goddamn there. Movies do it all the time. I don't like it when movies do it. Like they're driving down the road so you can see the actors and their goddamn dome lights on. But you can see the actors when the dome light is on. Then they couldn't even be bothered.
And it's actually called a Kino flow. They replace the dome light. They Velcro up a stronger than the dome light.
Sure.
Because a lot of cameras require, especially if you're shooting with film, it's thirsty. It needs a lot of light. This is just shit, though. I mean, and you fucked it up twice and then still just cheaped out. And we're like, you can see what's going on now. Because that's all they did is make it to where you could see what was going on. Kind of. So then how does a man, Jackie, who directed The Predator, Die Hard 1 and 3, and Hunt for the Red October end up here? How? How, okay. Jackie?
Yeah, you tell us.
Okay. Thinking about those movies. Give me just 1 second. I gotta get my
Bruce Willis,
compilations going.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Alec Baldwin, and Sean Connery in Rollerball 2.
I think that somebody said this Chris Klein guy is going to be hot shit. We need to put him in this. We need a movie for him. And he was like, "Well, I've been doing all these other remakes, on my own shit, maybe it's time to redo Rollerball. And everybody's like, oh,
I'll skip to that
was good.
Part because Chris Klein.
Yeah, ahead. Don't interrupt my story, Sam.
Yeah, Jesus, man. She's painting a universe.
Yeah. So he was like, well, and they're like, have you seen American Pie? And he's like, yeah, that was super funny. And they're like, he's that one guy. Because I can't remember what character he was in American Pie.
Steve? No, Steve Stifler's totally. I can't do the Steve thing on American Pie because that's a great character. He was probably Chris Klein. That was his character's name in that movie.
He was the jock guy.
Yeah. I'm the
that
jock.
Had a heart of gold.
Chris Klein.
Yeah. So.
I believe he played lacrosse or some shit.
They go to. He says, okay, set up a lunch and we'll see what we can do with this kid. Well, he shows up in a pair of booty shorts and some rollerblades.
Okay. Booty shorts.
And he's like,
hey,
what are you doing? And he's like, well, it's the only way I can get around after my DUI, blah, blah, blah. And
so he's Terry from Reno 911?
Yeah. He's giving tug jobs behind tacos.
How does Terry always creep into this podcast?
You can get $4. You can get 4 tacos for $3. You're only charging $2 for the tug job.
Chris Klein in some MGM Studios mansion just skating around with his butt out like, yeah, hey guys.
Yeah.
Xana don't.
He's reverse Harvey Weinsteining himself.
He's trying to get the part, man. I mean, he hasn't really done too much up to this point. And so he's like...
vibing it.
He's like, dude, I've heard...
Would you gentlemen like a drink? He skates over to the bar and kind of vibes it with his butt as he's pouring cocktails.
Yeah, that's exactly how this is going, Justin. And...
they say rollerball.
And he turns around and he does a spin and he's got... the cocktails in front of him, right? Because he can't do the one-handed thing. He's just not that coordinated. But he does like a fancy little spin, and he's like, rollerball. And then he rolls towards him, and then he drops one of those round ice cubes into his whiskey. And, you know, like in the show, they have those little round balls. And then he slides it over to him, right? And he's like, have you seen Rollerball? And he's like, no, but my mom loves it. And... my mom would be really proud if I could be in a remake of Rollerball. And the guy's like, fuck it. Let's just do this shit.
That is exactly how it happened.
So that's exactly how John McTiernan's career was derailed. I feel like the game show host at the end of Billy Madison. At no point in this rambling did you even bother answering the question.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because John McTiernan was there shaking his head the whole time. God damn it, no.
He's like, oh, there it goes. Bubble burst. Hot pants. There goes my career. Since you mentioned Chris Klein, who did say yes, the people who said no were Keanu Reeves was choice 1.
Hey.
Who decided to do Sweet November and Hardball instead, if you have heard of
Hardball
those.
is a sports movie, right?
It's the kids' baseball movie. It's sort of a shitty Bad News Bears, I think.
I've seen it.
Sweet November was really good, though.
Yeah,
it was a romance movie, so you two fuckers would not have watched it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna defend Keanu here for taking that role because, it's not his wheelhouse. I mean, the guy's the whole thing is his wheelhouse. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a rom-com. And it was right at the height of rom-coms. It's just a straight up, these two people before the Notebook, before you could just have a straight up romance movie after the 70s. Everything had to be rom-com during that time, and he did that movie, and I respect him for it.
Well, and
I think if you're him too, and you've got the 2 Matrix on the horizon, maybe you don't want to do an action movie for like a minute and a half.
Maybe a minute.
And, you know, that one was, it was kind of a rom-com because he meets this crazy woman and she's like, spend 4 weeks with me or whatever it is, 4 months.
Oh, I'm thinking of A Walk in the Clouds.
Yeah, you're thinking of a different one. So this is the one where she will only spend, he gets fired from his high-profile job. And she'll only spend so much time with him. And when that time is up, he's got to go. But he's in love with her and he won't leave.
Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
That's what happens in Pretty Woman.
The ending is that she has cancer, and she's only got so many good months left. And so she's giving them to him, and then she's throwing him out when she starts treatment.
So it is The Notebook as well. Yeah. Whatever.
So it's John Wick 0.5.
Yeah. Let's get back to the.
Okay. The guy who said number 2 to say no was Nicolas Cage, who the Nick Cages did Family Man instead.
That was a good movie.
That was a good call. Yeah, it's pretty smart move.
So how did John McTiernan get derailed? Well, he descended into sort of a paranoid madness beyond the just off screen. So during the production of this movie, he had the producers wiretapped.
I'm sorry.
What?
Wiretapped.
That's a thing that has happened in history.
How do you even do that?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I'll get to that part because it gets fucking weirder.
Holy shit.
So he is like, oh, these guys are trying to fuck me. I'm going to wiretap
That is madness.
By the way, while you're at it, you got to wiretap my wife, too.
Oh, my God. Because she's in on it?
No. He's got other reasons to wiretap her.
It's all different subplot?
Yeah, he's going to get divorced and he doesn't want her fucking freewheeling all over the joint.
Oh my God.
So he just like gets into contact with the wiretap guy and he's like, you can do this?
Go nuts.
While you're at it, wiretap these people also.
Hey, my neighbor side-eyes me last week about my lawn. Wiretap him.
Eventually, what's going to happen, he will make basic before all of the shit hits the fan with the wiretapping, which is allegedly worse than this movie, and now I'm excited to see it because I didn't realize how bad this movie was. This is one of the worst movies we've ever done on the podcast. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Basic. Who's in Basic?
Samuel L. and...
boy.
It's like the Pulp Fiction reunion. What's his face? John Travolta.
Oh no. Oh, Sam. Samuel L's been in some not great movies, but he's done a great job of avoiding this show, and I don't know if I want to burst that hymen.
He's gonna be on it. That movie's supposed to be terrible, and he owed him one, I guess, because if you look at, Pulp Fiction trajectory, right?
Right.
But after Die Hard 3, he's a fucking star.
Yeah.
Because he steals that show.
Totally.
And that was a big fucking deal.
Yeah. He's the guy
anyway, so
Coming to America.
Ty Diggs is in there.
Yeah.
Ty Diggs is not in Coming to America.
No, but he's in Basic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
I couldn't tell you much about it because I just remember thinking this is fucking stupid.
All right. Sorry, Samuel.
Anyway,
you're getting stinker carded.
Yeah. So he goes to prison.
Samuel L. No, not Samuel L. John
McTiernan goes to prison for wiretapping.
He should. I hate to say it.
And while he's in prison, he goes bankrupt. When he comes out, I guess his lawyers are like, no, we can do a Chapter 11 because he's got all these big movies on the horizon. And they're like, Rollerball and Basic. So he doesn't. So we need to liquidate. So he does. He's ruined, basically. But how does a person just go, you know what? I need wiretapping. I should ask this question first. When you wiretap somebody in this situation, like if you wiretap the producer, what are you going to do if he spills the beans over the wiretap that you're thinking he's going to spill? Like, haha, I know that you were going to ruin my Rollerball movie because you said this when you were on the phone with your cousin and you bragged about it. And he's like, how did you know that? And he's like, because I wiretapped you.
So, hey.
Which is completely fucking illegal.
Ringy dingy ding ding ding. Hello, this is Greg. Oh, hey, it's me, Mike. Should we get Matt on the phone? MGM. That's who we are. Matt, Greg, and Mike. But anyways, so about this Rollerball movie, should we make it like acceptable to a wider audience by cutting out, you know, like heads getting split in half and like just gratuitous nudity all over the place, and try to make it appealing to maybe a mom and a dad who need a little bit of a break from the kids. And like, do you think that would make a lot more money? And then John McTiernan comes in and starts blasting guns at MGM guys because they're tanking his Rollerball movie because they just want to be major Hollywood producers, which is what they do, is try to appeal to mass audiences. Look, I hate guys in ties. I hate that idea, but fucking wiretapping them and they're sabotaging my film? That's insane.
It's the whole thing is weird because it's like they've already pushed Johnny McTee into a situation he doesn't get into where they're forcing reshoots, and he's not been fired. He hasn't decided to leave. So is that when he's like, "Oh, I'll agree to this so I can wiretap you"?
And you know, but ding dong wiretaps. You bug things. Right, you bug the office so that if he's having private conversations,
thing, Jackie, it's the same thing.
That's what it's the same thing.
It's the same.
Phone tapping is when you put the bug in the telephone.
No, wiretapping is a blanket word to just say you're recording somebody. It's the same thing as bugging somebody. Promise.
Anyway, so he goes to prison for wiretapping various people, including his ex-wife.
Nuts.
Well, how do you do this? Stranger than this, they need to make a movie about this guy. I don't know what kind of movie it would be because he doesn't seem very redeemable. Famed Hollywood fixer Anthony Pellicano. That's who you hire.
Oh, how many knees does he have? 2 of them? Does he got
has
2 knees?
2, but nobody else has any when he's done.
I'm starting to see some links here. We're making connections.
So he goes down with the wiretapping and all of the other illegal shit when he's in bed with Steven Seagal.
Oh, God damn it. I got a Steven Seagal thing at the end of this movie. Yeah.
You were thinking about Keanu Reeves before. You didn't know that he was like, fuck this movie. I'm not doing it. So, and I'm almost certain in the world that I want this to be, that the reason that this guy even gets nabbed because he apparently had been operating as a Hollywood fixer to the point where he was like, film critics were getting like fish put in their cars and their windows busted with like notes that said, stop the nonsense and all this other bullshit that this guy's doing. He's been operating rather exclusively in this venue for so long, or in this arena for so long, that it would take a major fuck up. And Steven Seagal just seems like a guy that if he hired you to be his fixer, he would then want to join force, like become in league with you and then fuck things up because he thinks he's really good at all of this stuff.
Make a reality show about what we're doing.
Well, actually, gentlemen, there is a show. It's called Sin Eater: The Crimes of Anthony Pellicano.
Okay.
It was produced by FX.
Okay.
And released last year.
Interesting. Yeah, because I mean, it's super, and there's a million things for everything he got caught for, right? Like when he gets out, billionaires are hiring him immediately, and he's claiming because he can no longer hold a private investigator's license, I don't think. Okay. He's just a quote-unquote negotiator. What the fuck? So I think he's still up to his old tricks now.
Yeah, that sounds...
but when they finally nab him for working for Seagal, and Seagal probably fucking it up, as I imagine, they found an arsenal of guns, C4, and at least 1 hand grenade. A hand grenade.
What do you need that for?
Possibly 2 hand grenades.
To shove in the fish that you're going to put in somebody's mailbox. You're really going to send a message this time. Hey, how many horse heads do we got? 0. Okay. How many fish we got? 4. Shove a grenade in one. We're going to send him a message he won't forget. That's fucking insane, dude. This shit.
It's weirder.
God damn.
It's weirder. So when he's going down, or after he's going down, maybe he's trying to do an appeal or something. At any point, Linda Fiorentino, who we never mentioned for anything.
Okay.
Linda Fiorentino claims to the FBI that she's writing a screenplay about this guy.
All right.
And so she sugar daddies an FBI guy named Mark Rossini. She dates him, and I'm assuming she sleeps with him.
Would that be honeypotting?
And convinces him to give her FBI files illegally.
Linda Fiorentino.
Yeah.
The same, like, there's not multiple ladies called Linda Fiorentino. Okay.
It's the same one.
All right.
And then she gets those files, and then they give them to his legal defense. And Rossini has to resign from the FBI, and there was charges all abound.
Oh my fucking God, this country.
Oh my fucking God.
Sam, are you corrupt? Like,
I am not.
I think you might be, because now I'm starting to think that maybe I'm corrupt. Like, is everybody corrupt all the way?
Everyone is corrupt.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'll answer the question how a person like John McTiernan can descend into such shitty movies. We watched his first movie. It was called Nomads, and it stunk.
It stunk.
He was capable of this the whole time.
Yeah, and Last Action Hero is not... I love it. We all praised it on this podcast, but Jesus, is it not for the masses?
And I don't know. I haven't seen Medicine Man in a while, but I mean, if you had White Savior the movie, isn't that just what that is White Savior the movie?
I believe so.
Okay.
But God, Predator's more about movie. God, Predator's so good. So good.
Yeah.
And what's he talking about? Dodging social commentary. It's chock full of it in Predator. Whatever. Asshole.
Yeah. Well, when you're worried about wiretapping everybody, you can't be
nutty
details
bastard.
Start to get fuzzy, because then you got to review the wiretapping and then come up with more conspiracies in your head.
The Die Hard with a Vengeance. Sam L is like just social commentary, though. That's his character. Hi, I'm the black man who would like to deliver some social commentary and also not get exploded. Can you please help me, John McClane? I don't get it. I think he lost his mind. He was fragile to begin with. It's like you're giving Neil Breen a bunch of money and saying, go, Neil Breen. It's like, eventually I'm going to fucking lose my goddamn mind.
He had lost his mind. When you're starting to wiretap people,
that's bonkers.
You've descended into a level of paranoia.
So paranoid.
That is, yeah.
Unless they're coming to get you. Then you're not paranoid.
And then if you wiretap them, what is that going to do for you? Like, give you a head start?
Yeah. Do you know, this is speaking of people that are paranoid and, you're not paranoid unless they're coming to get you, or however that quote works. Did you know Michael Douglas was the executive producer? Not credit producer. He was the producer on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I
did not know that.
Before Gordon Gekko, barely after Spartacus, he was he's the reason that movie got made. I learned that today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Rebecca Romaine wasn't going to do it if she showed her tits. So
that Michael Douglas's wife is really good looking.
We're talking about Michael Douglas or Kirk Douglas?
Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas' wife is Catherine Zeta-Jones. Come on, man.
I know, but Kirk Douglas was in Spartacus.
That's what I'm saying. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is like not very long. I mean, yes, it is a while, 10 years? But Michael Douglas was just a pup at that point. He produced one of the greatest movies of all time.
Huh. Yeah. So yeah, and Rebecca Romaine's not... You just don't want to hear about these. Aren't you want to believe these are her boobs, but they're not.
Oh, they're not.
She wasn't going to do it.
Rebecca's boobs aren't in this movie.
Maybe allegedly she wasn't going to do it if she had to be hot tits or something. So she's like, no tits, and you got to put a scar on my face, and then she does it. LL Cool J is known for doing whatever they give him money for, so he did this.
So basically, when he says in the movie, "Just close your eyes and take the money," that's kind of his motto in life for movies as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Allstate. I think it's Allstate that commercial. Yeah. He's in it.
Yeah, that you don't call it a comeback because you can't come back or fall from mediocrity. You can just remain there permanently. It's a sweet spot.
Yeah, it's a bad jam though.
Is it though? Because he keeps getting hired. I see.
No. I'm saying Mama Said Knock You Out is a fucking total banger. I don't care. I do not like LL Cool J as an actor. I think that song is a banger.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Chris Klein was in Election before he was in American Pie. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Oh, Election is such a great movie. I didn't know he was in it.
Alexander Payne, we were witnessing the birth of a real director.
Suck.
Chris Klein also, and this is probably going to end up on the show at some point, he plays Charlie Nash in Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li, a movie that cost $50 million in 2009?
A movie that exists? That's...
A movie that exists?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's in the TV show now, so he's still working.
Okay.
This has a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means
pretty low.
That there are film critics that liked it. So I found those reviews, and I'm going to read them now.
Yes, this is good.
There are 3.
Okay.
Gene Lowerson, San Diego Metropolitan, writes, there's nothing surprising about it, but aficionados of speed, quick cuts, and high-tech mayhem will love John McTiernan's direction here. Oh, and they are way cool cars, too.
Oh, my fucking... God damn it. Jesus. Okay, next.
Also, when you shoot the movie twice and it ends up a 90-minute pile of shots, you can't tell what direction there is. There's little direction
just
left.
Mayhem, and if you like that, it's good.
Yeah.
If you like movies that
this
can't
one
be
is
cut
from
properly.
Top critic.
Okay.
Michael O'Sullivan of the Washington Post.
Oh, boy.
Writes, for those with stomach and stamina for its heart-quickening intensity and body-slamming action, Rollerball delivers exactly what it promises. A people's hero you can really get behind.
And cars.
What? That's, I think, the stupidest one.
That's really bad.
And there's cool cars too. That guy realize you're like, okay, that guy's an idiot.
That guy's an idiot.
It's fine. He can like this movie, but when you're like the hero, you can get. He didn't watch the movie then.
Might not have.
Other is a top critic, and I'm going to give this one a half hall pass because he doesn't actually outwardly say that it's good. He just says Ed Gonzalez of Slant says. The uneven Rollerball still feels like the dopiest, punchiest studio satire since Starship Troopers. It's not a ringing endorsement, but you didn't get Starship Troopers if you can compare this thing to it, because the only thing that happens is there's a co-ed locker room.
Right.
And there's a co-ed,
but there is an
but
attempt.
That's it.
There's I kind of want to do a little bit of that they're trying to say something in a satirical way, I think, that just falls apart. So I don't hate that review, but I don't like it either.
But it's positive, and there's no way that you could watch this and not be like, this thing is a pile of shit.
It is a pile of shit. 100%.
Also, this was PG-13. Did they get the hall pass for just trying hard enough?
So here's my fucking
PG-13 for effort, because there's tits everywhere.
McTiernan spying on his fucking producers. If you've seen the documentary, I can't remember what it's called, about the MPAA. Help me out if you guys. It's a pretty famous thing, like fuck the MPAA or whatever. There is a conspiracy. There has to be, by the producers, to get this movie to reach a mass audience for PG-13, because this is before the R-rated comeback. All movies in this period of time were PG-13. Every single goddamn fucking one of them. And there is too many tits in this movie to be a PG-13 movie by the MPAA standards at this point in time. I'm not saying, I'm not making any fucking not free the nipple commentary or anything. I'm just playing by the rules of the MPAA at this time. Said no tits, none at all, not even you, Kate Winslet. Okay, no, that's a good boobie. You can get your, it's tasteful. It's a tasteful titty.
Tasteful.
You get your tasteful titty back in this movie in 1998, but that's it. That's it.
Well, I think
these
Kate Winslet's
are gratuitous tits in this movie.
And the only reason they're still in the movie is because McTiernan was so hard on to do a hard R movie that he made sure, and this is where you can actually spot a little directorial effort, is that he made sure to have tits in the shot when lines that couldn't be dropped were being shot.
Yes. Yes. This is a titty. There's 8 sets of tits in this movie. 8 of them. Frankenhooker doesn't have 8 sets of tits, and it was almost an X-rated movie. There is many tits. And it's not like they're tasteful. It's not like they're slutty, dirty tits. They're dirty tits. They are.
They're tits on wheels. Tits on wheels,
They
MPAA.
are still gratuitous. They serve no purpose other than for being tits in movies.
Yep.
Fuck the MPAA. Forever. God damn it. I almost let my son watch this. And I was like, oh my God.
You know, when I was watching it yesterday.
That's a tasteful orgy, son. Don't worry about that part there.
Right.
I almost let him watch this with me as well. And then he was like, I'm going to go out and pick up rocks. And I'm like, okay, sweet. And then when I got to the locker scene, I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay, there's an accidental tit. There's a side tit. No, wait, those are full-on cans right there. Like, the only way you could get this movie more titty is if a lady walked in and started, like, 6 ladies started juggling their tits in front of the, and that's it. That's how they juggle their tits and then walk off camera.
And then there's like an ad for Soapland.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to get all soapy with some of these tits? 11-year-old boy. I mean, fucking crazy. But they cut out blood. You know, we could get into the whole, like, South Park, bigger, longer, uncut, and, you know, you're not allowed to say naughty words as long as there's no tits on TV. But I'd prefer the blood.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. PG-13 means that you should be there when your 13-year-old watches this.
Right.
This is an epic fail by the MPAA. There is no children, or if your kid's 13 or under. So when you bring your 10-year-old to Rollerball, you can be like, what the fuck, MPAA? There's tits and smashing and tits and smashing,
actually,
and also
wrong,
I can't even tell what's going on.
Parental guidance under the age of 13.
So 13-year-olds are just whacking it to this movie in 2001.
Their bedrooms are just, it's a mess in there. Don't go inside. But, you know, the Sears catalog, ladies in giant underwear. It's a mess. It's a mess. But yeah, I had a point. Just fuck the MPA. It's like watching a basketball game where the definition of a foul is interpretive. That's a foul. Well, that's not in this game. Like, oh, the refs are really, you know, that they're letting the boys play, or they're not letting the boys play, and both are the same rules. It's the rules are not the rules. Just do the rules.
Children should not watch this movie.
Children should not watch this movie. Unless you're okay with your children knowing everything about tits. And that's okay, too, if that's the parental style that you're using. But you need to have a disclaimer on your movie for people who are not okay with that.
There's like... It's bad. There's worse than tits. Like, this is just not a movie for children. I mean, it's not quite a Clockwork Orange, but it's... No, it's bad. Bad job, MPAA. Okay. You guys are stooges.
We're almost 40 minutes
Bought
into this.
Paid for.
How much more you got, buddy? Because I got 3
That's
pages.
it.
Okay, let's do this. Oh, God. We're going to skip a lot of this because we're on the clock. But, Jackie, I know you're just biting, even though it has nothing to do with the plot. I'm doing this for you, babe, because if I skipped it, you'd be like, no. The opening of this movie is hey, let's introduce our hero, John Auton. Because that's his name. John Auton. Something. I don't know. He's got a last name.
Racist?
Yeah, it's a little racist. We'll get to that later, but the only thing I know him by is Jonathan. He is A, former rodeo superstar. B, the #1 prospect, #1 draft prospect in the NHL. And also longboard street?
Nope, that's a street luge.
Street luge. Superstar of, what was that magazine that you, that you always talk about, Sam, with the skateboarders doing the gnarly stuff?
Transworld?
No, yeah. Is that the...
there was Thrashin'.
Thrashin'.
Thrasher.
That's what he's doing. He's good enough to be on Thrasher, but for street luging.
Yeah. There's illegal gambling going on in street luging in 2005, because that's when this movie is set.
Okay.
But they're gambling on this, right?
Right. Or I thought they were posing for photos. I thought he was just...
Why would you be trying to kill each other to win?
There's cameras all over the side of the streets. They're clicky, clicky, clicky. Shaggy, what's your take? Is it you're getting paid $400 for this? For the photos or for gambling?
For winning the race.
Oh, I guess we didn't think about that.
But somebody has to be gambling on the race. Otherwise, there would be no reason. They're just like putting people up to it. Like, we found $400 and you boys can race your street luge apparatus to win said $400. That doesn't happen.
I guess that's a opening microcosm for the rest of the movie. God, I got the beer burps. It's so vague that all three of us in the opening scene don't know what the opening scene is about. I thought he was there to pose for photos.
No, dude, he's there to win cash.
Photos of illegal street luging?
Yes!
That doesn't seem good.
But later at the end, after he gets saved and he tries to go back to his apartment, right? He's living in a shit shack. So
it is not a great place.
He's doing it for the money. He's broke. He punched out a coach. We know that from his conversation with LL Cool J. And so his prospects of actually being drafted have gone way down. And he doesn't really have a future. He's kind of a bum.
Hey, I kind of look like Keanu Reeves, right? Yeah, you look like a young kind of Keanu Reeves. I should be an NHL prospect in this movie because he was. I should do Keanu in this movie because we couldn't get him. So I'm just Keanu, right? I mean, it's Keanu. Yeah. He's Keanuing out. He's the #1 NHL draft prospect, but he can't get in because he punched a guy. Keanu might have blown out his shoulder. Same
that guy wanted to make him play defense.
Yeah, right?
Like, you have to play defense in every position in hockey, and if you like scoring goals, see, Paul Bjork and Paul Coffey, they scored a shitload of goals at defense, and whatever.
Man, that's some
what a douche.
Those are deep cuts right there, Sam. You just gave yourself some credit.
Ray Bork and Paul Coffey, god damn it. Anyway.
Right now, there's a guy in Canada saying, "Jeez,
we have to talk
Sam
about
guy. He knows what he's
the
talking
other
about."
person in the race."
Okay.
He does not win. Do you know why?
Because he died by flying into a sushi shop.
Because he's a loser.
Total.
Oh my god, that was a good one.
Total loser.
So the reason I wanted to talk about the street luge sequence.
Good job. Required. Okay, we checked that box. Dad joke has been applied to this episode. All right, so anyways, that guy dies. He didn't make it. He's not just a loser. He's a dead man. And LL Cool J flings out of nowhere in a 911 and grabs Jonathan from his luge board and pulls him in and says, "Hey, what's up, bro? You got the cops chasing you. I just happen to be in the neighborhood. You should stop doing all this dumb stuff like the NHL and come with me to this postcard," which I'm interpreting to be like Egypt area. Southern Mediterranean based on the photo, and he's like, come with me to do rollerball in Europe. It's like European basketball, but kind of violent, and it pays. It's like the XFL, but
it pays enough that if you need money.
Yeah.
He's acting like because in this sequence, even though he punched a guy and didn't want to play defense, he's still probably going to be in the NHL in 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, or he can give.
And that seems like better.
But LL Cool J says you can get your whole career done in 4 years. He's like, in 4 years, you will make enough money that you can supply for your wife and family for the rest of your life and never have to work again.
I 100% disagree by something that happens, a bribe that happens in this movie later of $100,000.
Yes.
Sell your soul for $100,000. What's the minimum in the NHL in 2000? Well, that's just 2005 because they adjust for inflation. Whatever. Probably 200,000 is the minimum to be on a bench.
Probably more like 800,000 to $1 million because there's only so many roster spots.
There's not a lot of players on a fucking team.
Yeah, I would say 800K.
800K. I'll go with Sam. Watches more hockey than I am.
From 2005 to 2006, the NHL bare minimum was $450,000.
Fuck.
Okay,
that's 4 times
a lot of money.
What his sell my soul offer is at the end of this movie. No, I'm going with you. Anyways, cops are all over his place, and I guess that's enough for him to be like, well, not going to the NHL.
Yeah.
I did some luging. Fucking the goddamn Calgarys don't want me now. So he hops a fucking flight with LL. 4 months later, he's the star of Rollerball, which is not popular globally. This is not the future. This is the now. If this movie takes place in the present, there's not like future cars and like bullshit science and everything. It's just this niche global sport that appears to be only popular in Turkey, Mongolia, Russia, and maybe China.
It seems like in the Turkic Eastern Bloc nations, it's sort of big.
Yeah.
Also, it shows a map so that we don't get confused about where we are. And on that map, they have Kazakhstan, which I'm assuming is Kazakhstan spelled wrong.
Right. And they have Mongolia.
And China is also spelled wrong. It's just Chin.
Maybe we're racist and those are how you spell native countries in their own native language. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm thinking they spelled it wrong.
Might have spelled it wrong. Whatever. So it's big in non-big markets. Like, that's the thing. If The Running Man was popular only in Russia, well, guess what? The Running Man kind of doesn't work as a fucking thing. And maybe McTiernan's right there getting rid of some social commentary. If the whole world is obsessed with this bullshit fucking sports thing, then maybe I'm making too many statements. So we should just make Russia shitty. And they love it because it's stupid. I mean, that's the one good thing that The Running Man does, is say that the whole world is behind this violent thing, but this is just blood sport on TV in small markets. How many TVs exist in Russia? Like 4?
And it's not even a good blood sport because they have to like rig it to get people bloody.
Right.
It's just a stupid sport.
This is a dumb fucking thing.
Well, they're trying. So here's the deal, Sam.
Why are there motorcycles?
It's popular there, but the real money is coming from the bets of the poor. So it's a gambling bracket as well. And the reason that they start having accidents and more gore is because they're trying to get syndicated by cable TV in America.
Yeah, right. They're trying. Okay, we'll get into that. You're jumping way ahead, honey. That is important territory that we have to cover quite in depth. Is the plot of this movie actually? So let's go through the rules of Rollerball. Does anybody have a fucking clue how many teams are rollerballing at the same time? Because I don't.
It's 2 teams.
I disagree.
Teams.
I totally disagree. Okay. Because in the opening rollerball match, there's our team, which I don't know if they're like, if there's team names or whatever. At the end of one of the matches, they're waving the USA flag, but there's people on the team that don't speak English, which I know can exist in sports. I also have seen the baseball. Speaking of the Dodgers, what's his name?
Yeah,
Iritani.
If only Pete Rose had an interpreter, right? Huh? Yeah.
But it seems like very diverse. There's a Russian guy on the red team that Chris Klein's on. Black Widow, Aurora, played by Rebecca Romaine. She seems to be Russian as well. And then there's the team that they're playing is gold, but then there's also a yellow team out there as well.
I think that the gold and the yellow are the same team. They're just not very consistent.
Not coordinated.
With the art department.
Well, then when somebody scores, they flash up on the screen. They don't say the team name. They say the country of where they're from.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I didn't even notice that.
Okay.
What I'm noticing at this point is that I'm getting eye strain from watching a movie.
Yes. The editing is so fucking terrible. And it's so vague. And like, there's just shots of people like talking like, rollerball is the new thing. Yeah, it is. Cut to somebody else. Like there's a level of Any Given Sunday badly editing in here as well. Driven comes to mind. Like, god damn it, editing at this period sucked.
This is fun. So we're watching it on Tubi, and then it gets over, and Tubi wants to play you another movie, right? You can't watch the credits. It's just like, here's another movie. We know you just want to watch another movie. It was Driven.
It was Driven. Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah.
It's actually a convenience because it makes my job for comparing movies easier when you do that. Thank you. Okay, so a guy skates around. You got a ball. You got a roller ball. Drops out of the sky, out of a tube, and then you have to get into a tube with the roller ball, and you hang out there for a little while, and I think you talk some shit, and then you drop on down and get pitted, and then you skate around the ring twice while possessing the roller ball the entire time. Then you can clang it against a wall, and if you whack it against the wall hard enough and the sparks come out, then you've scored a point.
I think you only have to do a full lap with the ball, and then you can score.
2 times. 2 times, Sam. Gotta go around twice.
The guy says it at the beginning. The Paul Heyman, the wrestling guy.
2 times.
He's the announcer for the English speak. Okay, fine, whatever. 1 or 2.
Let me have it.
You roll around with the ball. Here's the... I'm gonna fucking ruin. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. Nobody besides him ever gets the ball.
Nobody.
Like, the other team never gets the ball, ever.
That's not true.
The other team never has the ball in this movie.
He gave it to the Black Widow to throw up one time.
Oh, sure, she scored. They scored, but like, he got the ball first.
He gets the ball.
The rules of rollerball is this guy gets the ball.
The guy gets the ball. Goes around.
The other team did have the ball to smash a guy's face.
It's true.
When they weren't playing.
They weren't playing.
They weren't even playing right then. They just like grabbed the ball and smashed a guy's face with it.
Oh my god damn it. Rollerball sucks. Not just the movie, but the sport itself. Is there, like, if it was fair and there wasn't all this bullshit about like juicing ratings with violence, would you guys watch this?
Have you ever gone to roller derby?
It's different, isn't it? Roller derby's different, right?
There's no ball. You just like
skate around and
ladies in tight butt shorts knocking each other over.
Yeah, Claudia Jennings does some things and eventually her boobs come out. Oh, it's me, Claudia Jennings, and her boobs come out. And you're like, hey, nice. I've seen those. No, I would not. No, I have
Men of a certain age, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds sucky.
I did have a coach of a rollerball team, a roller derby team in Boise, asked me to join.
Okay.
He said I was a little spitfire and I would be a good asset to the team.
Spitfire's a compliment, Jackie.
This is right before I met you.
All right. And did you join that rollerball team?
No, because I don't want to get my shit kicked out of me, and I have nice teeth.
Do you have any regrets about your professional career decline?
Are you good at skating?
Yeah, I am, actually.
Okay.
When she painted that scenario, Sam, about Chris Klein putting on his terry pants and skating around, she was actually thinking about herself. Like, that's how I'm going to launch my
rollerball
Hollywood career.
My rollerball Hollywood career.
Hot pants. Hot pants.
Yeah, I actually am. I'm not a good ice skater, but I am a good roller skater.
Huh.
And I've actually I do not like roller blades. I think they suck. There's nothing that beats the 4-wheel old style skate. It's just so cool.
I can't do the skates. I can do ice and the blades, but the skates make no sense to me. So there's like a global rating system deal that it shows you periodically when it's not showing you like a bottle of milk, some guys in underwear dancing, shots of people not rollerballing. The editing is incredibly
weird
bad and just
inserts
everywhere.
of Pink performing, but not her songs.
Not her songs, just her face and herself periodically in it. But there's like a global ratings system, and it's like high at the beginning, but then later, like the games start and there's not very good ratings, and so they have to juice it with some violence or whatever. But this is where we see that the global ratings are good and that Jonathan Cross.
Yep.
John O'Tan. And the sport of rollerball is stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I guess the ratings aren't where they want them to be, even though the ticker keeps going up and up and up. And if I know anything about sports, it's the numbers are in the 20s. Like a good number is a 20 point something, right? So
that's 20 million viewers.
Yeah,
right?
is that the Nielsen's? Is that what that is? Which 20 million viewers is like all of them. That's all you got. All the viewers. That's 2 Super Bowls.
The Super Bowl gets like a 48.
Does it really? I don't know about that. Anyway, it's getting a shit ton of fucking.
Actually, a bad night for Dancing with the Stars.
20. This is fucking.
Dancing with the Stars gets like 30s sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck?
The equivalent to this is American Gladiator, Sam, and it's getting a 20
that
rating.
That had like a 3 rating.
I think that this is doing quite well. And they're like, not good enough. Not good enough. We got to juice this thing. So before the match, I think there's this guy named Toba. They keep saying Toby, but then sometimes they say Toba, and I'm assuming his name's not Toby because they also kind of make him sound like he's a slow person. Like you pull his helmet off and he's the guy in Thunderdome and you're like, shit, I can't kill this guy. So he's just fucking off.
He's just wandering about.
Like they're not playing rollerball, but he's still like, I like skating and skating someplace. And like some guy skates up to him and knocks his helmet off, and he's like, oh no, my helmet. So he picks it up and tries to like futz with it. But then the opposing team grabs the rollerball and smashes him in the face with it. And it's like, this is the linchpin of the movie. Later in the movie, there is buckets of blood. But this is the whole start of the plot. And it's shown over and over and over again in replay of him getting smashed in the face with the rollerball. And all that comes out is spit.
And teeth.
And I'm like, okay. And it's okay. He lost some chitlins.
And he's probably okay.
He's probably okay. Like, it's a busted jaw, man. That sucks. You're getting your teeth wired, and you're going to eat applesauce for a month. That's a bummer, man. But they're treating it like this guy got his face caved in, the mountain jumped onto his tummy, and ripped his skull apart, and his brains went out in front of his wife. That's what they're treating it like. And yeah, they cheated but he's gonna be okay.
He's gonna be okay. They're acting like this is a hit from Claude Lemieux to shout out to the old NHL again.
Hey, there you go. They're treating it like Mike Tyson showed up, punched him so hard in the stomach that his leg came off. That's a shout out to Fresh Prince right there, Sam.
But this pisses off the Jonathan.
The Jonathan is
because
mad.
he rattles the edge of the glass so the metal band starts playing his I'm gonna score with the ball again. Because that's all that fucking happens. He's like, metal. They kind of. This is actually the least shitty metal in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just that. I mean, he's got like the West Side Story thing going on where he starts snapping, and then everybody else starts snapping, and they all get in the line because they're gonna go kick some ass.
Yep, that's right. That's right. The Ultimate Warrior has got his hands on the bottom rope, and he's getting jacked up. So he it's all very disappointing, though. That was a lot of buildup from us. Nothing really takes place after that.
They win the match.
It's too bad. Yeah, they win.
And then...
Oh, I do want to mention that so let's talk about rollerball shots, because this movie is a lump of shots, right? Of rollerball. Yeah. At one point, the Asian lady, I don't even know if she has a name, but she's on a motorcycle. She runs over a dude, stops while on top of him and says suck it or some dumb thing, and then runs him over again. Later, people get in a fist fight and refs come out and stop the match. So it's okay to run over a guy with the 3,000. Okay, how much does a motorcycle weigh? 2,000 pounds? 1,500 pounds?
No, not even. I mean, a little sport bike's not going to weigh that
1,000
much.
pounds?
500 maybe.
500. You're crazy, man. That's a big bike. So it's okay to run over a guy, but you can't punch people in the face. Not okay.
The rules are unclear. What are the motorcycles even doing?
What do they do?
What do you even do on the motorcycle?
Other than tow a guy?
So they have a grab bar on the back, and so you can grab onto them and get your speed up so that you can get massive air when you throw the ball towards the dinger.
I feel, just judging by the size of this rink, that you would be able to achieve half the speed of the roller skating people on the motorcycle, because it's too big and cumbersome to actually perform on the track.
Correct. It is.
They're just in the way.
It's just a big glob of, another thing that I noticed was at some point during the highlights, one of the roller skates guys picked up one of the lady roller skater ladies and used her to like clothesline a bunch of people that were roller skating in the opposite direction. Like it was pre-Twilight where you pick up your wife and use her as a hammer. But it's so stupid. Like the action, rollerball action. No, McTiernan. Did you guys spot anything that you liked in the rollerball?
I liked all the weird helmets that everybody was wearing. Like the molded helmets. The Black Widow had a pretty cool one.
Can't see shit helmet while you're riding a motorcycle.
The can't see shit helmets.
The can't see shit helmets were my favorite part about this movie, because I knew that like the guy who gets knocked in the face, he couldn't see out of that goddamn dragon helmet, but it was fucking bitchin' awesome.
So they win. They go to, there's some street racing, blah, blah, blah. And cars.
Because that's part of their marketing campaign. It is because when they go to the next country to do it, Jonathan gets a new car, and it's part of the dog and pony show to get the public excited that they're in town and that they, to bid on them or bet.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do the cars. Let's do the cars thing. It's a marketing ploy to get the people who see them show up like it's the fucking Macy's Day Parade. Oh my God, rollerball. Okay, they're in fucking Russia, right? It's not great in Russia. They even say it's not great. I'm not picking on Russia. I'll do that whenever I want.
They're not even in Russia. They try to escape to Russia later.
No, they're in Russia. They try to escape to whatever. There's commentary about how bad the people on the streets have got it. It's a kind of a dystopian movie, but they're driving these hot rods through the streets to jazz up the sport, get people excited about it and bet more. The poor people, we want the poor people to bet on this, as Jackie said earlier. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. How much betting you get going with these people who are sleeping under cardboard boxes?
Well, and at the beginning of the movie too, they say that these, like in the first country that we're in, these people are minors. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of autonomy about their lives. They show up, they go to the mine, and then it's Sunday, which the mine is closed. And it is time for them to go blow off steam at the rollerball derby.
Yeah, they go bet their paycheck, which is fine for a movie to say, but the whole income, like the corruption about rollerball, is on these poor people betting on it. In an oppressed country, we live in a capitalist society, right? America's doing great. Jackie's uncle works in the mines. It's not great. He's doing okay in America. Now, there's Blood Diamond. We all know about that. We know about the children working for Nestle in South America. And what China's doing about concrete, it's not, they're not paying livable wages. These people are suffering and dying in our real world. And this movie says that their lives are worse than our real world. They don't have the money to go enjoy the rollerball on Sunday and sustain an economy for a sport. It doesn't make sense.
Justin, try telling the Irish that they don't have enough money to drink.
What are you saying?
If you want to do it, you do it.
Drinking doesn't require money, actually, Jackie.
Yes, it does. How are you going to get the alcohol?
It really does.
It really doesn't, as evidenced by Sam making Papa Sando's toilet wine. This episode of Secret Madness, sponsored by Papa Sando's toilet wine. It tastes like toilet wine.
It didn't even taste like toilet wine. It tasted like spritzers, kind of, until the next day. And you're like, why did I drink
You
that?
can make booze in a toilet, Jackie.
You can do it.
These people are sustaining the NFL of, like...
What did it cost me to make that? I made 5 gallons of hooch and it was like $20.
Yeah, right? See what I'm saying? You stick some berries in the sun in a jar. 2 weeks later, you're going to get fucked up. You're probably going to die. But you can do it. And also, Ireland, those people are hard workers, and they got their shit done. And if it hadn't been for the English, they would have been fine. But this is Russia and Mongolia and Turkey, and these people literally are shown, these bettors are shown living under cardboard boxes. As Shelby Series 1s drive by, would you go, wow, I'm so hungry. I live in a cardboard box, but that Shelby Series 1 gave me a massive gambling boner.
No, that would be you. I would be driving the Shelby one because obviously I have some talent in the roller skate business and was offered a slot.
You don't have talent.
On a team.
You don't have talent in the driving business, so that Shelby Series 1 wouldn't have made it out of the parking lot before you wrapped it around a tree. Hey-o!
Hey, our son today said, Mom, you're driving too fast. I feel like we're going to get in a car accident. I was going 45 miles an hour in a 55, and I was trying to get up to speed.
That might be too fast for you, Jackie. I've seen you drive. Be careful out there. Ladies and gentlemen, when Jackie's driving. Okay, so that's where we're at. The gambling doesn't make sense. He's like, juice this thing, we need more bodies, blah blah blah. Go to the locker room, there's tits in there. We go to the owner's VP room at this nightclub after street racing. There's tits in there. Jonathan is like, hey, here's the dude's helmet. It was cut. Tobaz's helmet was, the strap was cut, so this is sabotage. What are you going to do about it? Owner, who's also Leon the Professional, Jane Renault. And he's like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to the skating rink, and inside the locker room, I'm going to motorboat some tits in front of children.
Yep.
Because this is PG-13. Fake Rebecca Romaine tit. I think that I don't know, man. It seems like
Who
they're
knows?
her tits.
I couldn't tell when I was watching it, which means it's probably not. If you can't tell, it's probably not.
My next note is
either
tits,
way, she's doing
tits.
curls topless.
Yeah.
Topless curls.
Black Widow,
Well,
that's how she does
That's
it.
what I was thinking, like, after watching this movie, Sam, is that I should get one of those memberships to a 24-hour fitness and then just go in there in the middle of the night when nobody else is there and just do topless curls.
Mm-hmm. 24-hour topless.
And that
Do they still have that, or is it just anytime fitness?
I think it's anytime fitness now.
And anytime means before 10:30.
Megan Thee Stallion.
That's Planet Fitness.
Oh, okay. She do topless fitness? Okay. Yeah. It's a good marketing plan. Okay, so they bang, and then they watch, because they're lovers. They watch footage of Toba getting murdered, getting his jaw busted. It's like murdered. Oh God, Toba.
Where does she even? So she's got a wiretap on the game.
Wiretaps in the sauna room. They bang in the sauna, and they're snuggling there. They're afterglowing, pillow talking in the sauna.
Saunas are too hot
To have a TV in or pillow talk, or both.
to
This
bang.
is Russia, so it is
Both.
fucking cold there. So the sauna just makes it like a normal American temperatured room.
Oh, sauna.
No, it's
shitty.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, right. Okay, so they're like, ugh, Toba got wronged, I guess. Let's
go find Sergey.
I've got a TV guy. He can plug in your VCR and also clean your heads on it at the same time. You need your clock
I know a
reset
guy.
on that?
He's got all the Chuck Norris movies.
Right? God damn it. Sergey, this is the link. Well, we need to find a TV guy to explain why Toba's had his jaw hurt. The plot of the movie hinges on Sergey.
Where do I find the TV guy? He says that.
Yeah.
They don't ever find the TV
They
guy.
do not.
Spoiler
He's
alert.
been murdered.
Yeah, he gets murdered. Yeah.
I couldn't even tell. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
his throat was
murdered.
cut.
They went
at
to his
some point.
apartment. There was like a guy there with a gun.
Goons.
Jonathan is a commando who can easily disarm armed assailants. And then they leave. I didn't know Sergey died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they dumped his body right outside the
Did
border.
they say that
Yeah,
he died?
They found his body right outside the border.
So,
The border of what?
Business. The mine? I don't know. It doesn't
Istanbul,
say.
Constantinople.
The border collie?
Those are bad jokes. Can we get back to some of those dad jokes? Hey, I got one. When Jackie and I first started dating, she actually was a manager of bees. I thought that was an interesting career choice, and I went to my dad and told him about her, and he said, that one's a keeper.
Oh my God. That wasn't even worth the lie that I was into bees.
No, you don't get it. Because it's a dad joke within a dad joke. The dad tells the joke inside of the joke. That's a double dad joke. Blam, blam.
My God.
What do you do? I am the manager of bees. How do you do that? Carefully.
I have a stinging good time.
All right. Okay, so the ratings are low. Owner wants some solutions, and he tells his right-hand man, and the right-hand man calls some guys, and they have a dude cut the fuel line of Aurora, the Black Widow, on her motorcycle, and LL's like, hey, I saw that. I'm also a motorcycle guy, so I'm going to get you. Stop. And they light the fuel line on fire, and he rides up and pulls her off right before the motorcycle just kind of peters out and hits a wall.
And explodes.
And then blows up, kind of.
Kind of blows up.
But then LL's like, I'm taking this shit to the moon, and he just gasses it for no reason and jumps out of the arena.
Whoa!
And is marginally injured.
Yeah, lands in the crowd. His bike kills 6 people, but he's okay. So they take him to the hospital, and he's like, we got to get out of here. But the way this we got to get out of here thing is shot, he's shoved into an ambulance sort of thing, and he turns nobody else is in this shot but him, and he says, we're out of here. And I can only assume he says that to an EMT, and the EMT is like, you're right, we're going to the hospital.
He looks up and goes, I believe he's concussed.
It's really stupid. So they get to the hospital, and Chris Klein's there, and the Aurora and Danny, the other guy on the team, they have to sneak in, even though Chris Klein can just go in. They have to sneak in as like rose delivers or whatever.
You are talking about Oleg Taktarov.
Good.
And his name in the movie is Denikin, but he has, I don't think we should be so dismissive of this gentleman because he has been in Predator, National Treasure, 15 Minutes, The Machine, The Man from Toronto, Upon the Magic Roads,
The Man from Calgary,
Island of the Doomed,
#1 prospect in the NHL draft. Okay, good job, Jackie. Appreciate you cutting in there and giving our,
dude, he's handsome.
Due respect to Oleg Taktarov.
Anyway, I have now noticed that everyone watching this sport is an idiot.
Okay, now you've noticed.
Because they've turned it on after the violence happens is when the ratings go up. No one is actually watching it expecting there to be, so they've missed it every time.
This is a thing, Sam. This actually happens every time. In WrestleMania 4, when Hulk Hogan faced off against Andre the Giant, after he managed to pick up Andre the Giant and slam him to the turf.
I thought that was 2.
Is when people actually turn on their TVs. They're like, oh, there he is. He's on the ground. Yeah, WrestleMania rules.
Okay. Wasn't that 2?
Okay, 2, whatever. I was close.
4 was Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, right?
I don't know. Call. It is stupid, though. No, you turn on the television when it starts. We're familiar with this sort of sports entertainment. They charge for it. It's called pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I just don't think Russia's capable of being good at business. I just don't think it's in their genes. I'm sorry. I guess that's racist, but nationalist? I don't know what it is. They're white people too.
In their genes because they pay too much for used Levi's.
That's right. That are being made in China.
They should really get into the tracksuit.
Who's using them then?
Who's using the jeans?
They're used jeans made in China.
I'm assuming the people from Karkamish, whatever this is.
Kazakhstan.
Borat's sister
the
is
graphic
just,
designer said, someone give me a thesaurus. And they're like, that's not the one you want.
Borat's sister's second job is just trying on pants, getting them good and used, along with her fiddly bits.
Oh,
come on. It's Borat's sister. I can't do that. She's a whore. It's in the movie. She's a nice girl. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so LL's in the hospital. They show up. They sneak in, and they're like, "We got to get you out of here." So you're gonna pretend that you're us and sneak into this like flower delivery panel van, and that's when we enter the night vision sequence. They're out,
which is wholly unviewable.
It's really, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. There's like snippy dialogue that could have been cut, but hey, this is the movie's best one-liners. We have to keep these in.
Were they? I don't know what they even said during.
Oh, it's garbage, like, but it's like the Chris Klein being cute phase of the movie.
But you can't see anything because it's just green blur.
It's just green, film grain garbage. Anyways, I'm gonna just sum up here. They're schmeving along. The Russians find them. They start shooting at them. They're banging their cars around and skidding them off the road. And then, all right, we got out of here. Almost. Let's skid the van to a stop and then ride out of here. That we have a motorcycle in the back of the cargo van. And boom, oh my God, we're doing 120 on a motorcycle on a dirt road. We're gonna die. Which they didn't even make it to 120 before they died. But they're doing 120 on a motorcycle. No helmets.
Those guys
casual conversations.
Yeah, and you can't even ride faster than about 15 without glasses or goggles.
Exactly.
It's just wind in your eyes.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, the bad guys are like, they're going to get away. Let's blow them up with mortars.
Oh, no. I'm not there yet. They're doing 125.
Oh, yeah, because they've got dumber shit that happens first.
We got away from them. Cool. Wait, hold on. I see lights behind us. It's a fucking airplane. It's the airplane that picks up their cars, their marketing cars, and flies them across Asia so that they can have the bullshit marketing thing that Jackie talks about, rather than just renting fucking Supras or whatever in each location. They fly their fucking Shelby Cobra Daytonas, $8 million cars in a fucking cargo jet, a fucking AC-10 or whatever the hell they're called, across the goddamn half of the planet, and now it's here to fucking mow them down.
It's gonna catch them, and so they're riding, and they're like, "Ugh," and they go through a fence, and the sound designer puts in the Looney Tunes sound, and then they do it again. It gets used twice. And then Chris Klein yells, "They got an off-road airplane." Making this the stupidest fucking sequence I've ever seen in a fucking movie. This is terrible.
It's really dumb.
To find out later that it's not just this dumb, but they fucked it up twice and still put it in.
It in.
Whoa!
They could have just cut to the bridge sequence. They could have just cut to the bridge sequence.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plane sucks. It poops out some Jeeps, and in the Jeep is the owner of a fucking major sports franchise that's entire existence exists on having poor people use it as a betting system. Whatever. So they chase down a mountain. Some of these Jeeps wreck. They get to the bridge. Hey, we can see the border. It's right over there. Should we swim for it? No, let's take the bridge. So they're schmeving along on this motorcycle down the road, and they start launching motors at it. They get clipped. Both go down. There's not time. You gotta go. You gotta, like, friends.
You got a family.
Stuff.
He's got a family.
Yeah. Does he?
Yeah, he says that he's doing it for his family.
Huh. That's news to me. Whatever. The bridge is going up, like one of those drawbridges. It actually is a draw. God damn it, me. So he's like, you gotta go and you gotta jump it. And he does. And then he gets shot by a sniper.
And they shoot him anyway.
Yeah, because the bad guy's like, let's just see if he makes it first. And then he makes it. And he's like, okay, now shoot him.
You know what? this sucks. And I don't mean like it sucks. It sucks more than it sucks because I wanted him to shoot him in midair. And like the bike just drops in front of Chris Klein and he's like, no! I know it's cliche, but that's what you do here. And the view that Chris Klein has
is of a bridge. He can't see anything.
LL Cool J made it in his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freedom, man. Let's keep going. I'll go back and I'm taking down the system. Instead, the movie tells us that Chris Klein saw him get shot on the other side of the bridge. So just shoot him at the peak. The bike falls. It's a little funny. It's a little comical. Did he make it? No, man.
No.
Or he just shorts the jump entirely.
He just shorts the jump.
Face.
Gets decapitated by the other side of the bridge. Like, oh my God, he didn't make it.
And I told him to do that. It's me.
If he would have taken off some of those gold necklaces, he probably would have had the weight differential to make it.
Kenny Powers.
He's just Kenny Powers it.
Make it. And then he gets decapitated. Oh my God.
It's so anticlimactic. What happens here? And it's all in night vision. It's still in night vision.
Even barely see what the fuck.
And I like the guards.
And then the guards in the shot. The guards are just like, what the fuck was that?
Huh.
Whatever. Bye.
Because they can't see shit either. And so they're like, it's probably a coyote. Let's just keep drinking coffee.
Keep smoking cigarettes and talking about butts.
Did you hear a guy get shot while riding a motorcycle and the motorcycle skid about 10 feet from us? I don't know what I heard. Because we can't see shit. I imagine this is what our southern border looks like right now, based on what the media is telling us. Just,
bunch of motorcyclists trying to jump the bridge, jump the river.
Heel clickering over Trump's wall. Oh, he didn't make it. Border Patrol, like everybody's shooting at him, just Mexicans flying all over Trump's wall. That's what the media makes it sound like, Sam. Okay, so, yeah, they don't make it. He gets picked up, put on the plane. They fly him back to wherever sports are at. And he's like, I'll do it. I guess he's like trying to deflect. Like, my plan is actually to take you down, but I want to make some, like, try to figure out a way to get Aurora safe. So trade my girlfriend. She's a bitch. I don't like her.
Yeah, this was all weird. Like, why did they have to go to the mine for this scene?
Yeah,
like,
right?
I'm going to fly you to the mine so that the workers can see you. And then tells him, I don't have to own the mine. I own the guy who owns the mine. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Indeed. So he does get Aurora on the other team, but it's the team they're playing tonight. Oh no. So they show up. It's game night time. And there's been some rule changes. This just in, rule changes, charges within the neutral zone are not allowed anymore. And also all rules don't exist.
Other than the scoring.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
there's no fouls.
We have given
there's no penalties.
The other team knife ball holders so that they can possibly decapitate you while going around the ring.
Sam, what are those called? You played lacrosse.
Stick.
That's the
lacrosse
stick.
Is called a stick.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is called a death stick.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to buy some death sticks from me? These are not the death sticks you're looking for. I wrote Star Wars.
And they tattooed Rebecca Stamos' face.
So the tattoos, it's like that. Okay, so everybody gets a number on their underneath their eye. It's like Jordan gets a 23 and Magic gets a 32 under their eye, except for Chris Klein's perfect fucking face. Why?
NLL. Nobody on the other team.
Is there only 100
one
people?
girl on his team got the tattoo, and she's like, "Look, I got a tattoo," and he's like, "You're stupid. You just tattooed your face."
I think that...
What happens if you go to another team and somebody's already got that number?
No, they only have so many numbers.
They headbutt until one person gets to keep it.
Oh, my God. Damn it. LeBron and Kobe just bashing their faces against each other. Okay. So Aurora's on the other team. There's assassins over there. She smells sabotage with the hockey or with the lacrosse sticks that didn't exist in this game before. But now I guess there's no rules. Which, here's the thing about sports. If you can just tackle a guy in any sport, then there's no scoring, Sam. Like, imagine chess.
What if the guy can't be tackled? What if you can't tackle the guy? He's too tough.
Or like,
what if he just jumps over everybody?
Then you grab a knife and you stab Gary Kasparov. You won.
What if he can't be stabbed?
Your opponent's dead. It doesn't make it like there's no rule. If there's no fouls or penalties in sports, then there's no fucking rules. None. So Aurora rides out and like, hey, they're gonna try to kill you, and he's like, duh, no shit. Get out of here, you too, because they're gonna kill all of us. And she's like, oh, you knew? Yeah, I'm ahead of you. And then her team rides out, and then they zip tie her because like, oh, you ratted out that we were gonna kill that guy to the guy that we were gonna kill, so now you're zip tied and we're gonna pin you. But later in the match, we're gonna be like, let's not kill each other. We're athletes. Why are we killing each other?
Why are we killing each other?
Also, we're going to keep RB on your
guy.
back. Yeah, it doesn't... Oh, God
well, Denikin,
okay. So,
who is the Olog, he actually climbs up on the glass because they're in their hometown. His brother's out in the crowd. And he's like, they are killing us for reviews or for ratings.
Right.
And the whole crowd, I don't really understand, like, did they not care? I'm not real sure. But the security pulls him down and shoots him.
Yeah, he says they're killing us, and so they kill him. And then the crowd goes, they look at each other and just say, John O'Ton, John O'Ton, John
Rather
O'Ton.
than just mobbing out and starting to pull people's bodies apart, which is usually what happens here, but they don't. They're like, he's our man. He can jump through glass now.
One of the mine workers stands up and literally says, you don't control us anymore. And then he turns to the sport rink and begins chanting for his #1 sport fan.
Which is weird because
John O'Ton.
That is Denikin's brother.
Oh, is it?
Maybe.
No, it is
it's unclear.
because they're at the bar in the after the first match together, and he's like, "You're my brother."
What's his backstory?
He was a miner, and he made it out of the mines to be a rollerballer.
No, I'm talking about Jonathan or Oleg's brother's backstory.
Oh, okay. So that guy, lifetime miner. His dad was a miner. His mom fed the miners. And when he was young, he would have to go down and they didn't have canaries because those were expensive. So he was the canary child that they lowered down into the mine. And then if he came back up and he was still alive, then they knew it was okay to mine.
Or hadn't found dragons.
Yeah. So he's been living the miner's life his whole life.
You know, God damn it, dude.
So
I was just sitting around thinking the other day, like, God, after watching Tiptoes, I was thinking Gary Oldman's like my favorite actor of all time, and he was in that movie. But then I was thinking, no, Tom Hardy is my favorite actor of all time because he's amazing. And then I was thinking, no, Christian Bale is my favorite actor of all fucking time. And then I realized all three of those guys are in one movie together, And that kind of fucking blew my mind, even though that movie's not very good. But then I realized that Christian Bale was in fucking the Dragon movie, and that movie, it just blows my point is, Christian Bale was in Dragon's Dogma. What the hell's that movie called?
Dragonheart?
I don't know. Flying McGonaghy, the movie. That movie really is bad. It's really bad. Star Trek Nemesis, when Tom Hardy plays the Picard clone.
Movie is really bad. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to segue into just random thoughts while I'm drinking in a hot tub, but...
Okay, so they're chanting Jonathan, and he's like, I'm going to bust through this safety glass because it's rigged, because the owner rigged this pane to have his own pane in his face with my skates and a ball. And he's like, oh, no.
No, first he's got to...
But then he runs off.
First he's got to kick this guy's ass.
Oh, yeah, he beats up the guy that was Vlad from The Program.
Oh.
And
movie that was super popular in 94.
Yeah, but this guy gets face planted into the ring and on a corner, so he's dead.
Yeah, and
or he's just hurt.
He's pretty. Okay, so he does flying sumo kick the owner, Leon the Professional, in the face, and then Leon Professional is okay enough to get downstairs where he's got guns in his booth.
This is just a whole, like, this is why you don't lock your guns up, kids. Can't use them to shoot intruders if they're all locked up.
Don't say that, Sam. Okay. So then, meanwhile, the teams have decided that they're not going to kill each other. And so instead they kill Foley guys and boom,
security
guys and security guys, and like the guys out in the fucking truck that have the satellite dish on top of it, just the TV station manager. Okay, cut to camera 2. Oh, blood all over the fucking little controller arm thing that controls the camera. The tape, the guy that just changes tape for commercials, is like, oh, now it's time to learn about athomeremodeling.com.
Yep.
Blood in the fucking streets.
But what's really sucky for them is that they'd cut the feed. And so
it's not even on
TV anymore.
They didn't. The guy that was running the feed pulled a gun out and said, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing now.
No, because
he does. No. The feed stays live because he pulls out a gun. I remember that part.
He pulls the gun out at the end.
One of the trucks does, Sam was right, does continue the feed. The other ones in the town that they're in cuts the feed and it goes to a local pub and the feed changes to some people dancing and they throw a beer and break the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the mob storms the streets so far that those people that were dancing are like, yeah, and a 1 and a 2. Oh, down. They die too. Like this is a murderous mob. Killing indiscriminately.
So Jean Reno makes it down to where his guns are too locked up for him to use, and he uses them poorly. Also, Chris Klein is able to deflect shotgun shells with a bar stool.
Yep.
And then he kills Jean Reno, and then
brutally
Sanjay
beats a man in the head with a bar stool.
Pummels him to death.
Unarmed
bludgeons him.
Man.
He's sort of armed if he wouldn't have locked his guns up so good. And then Sanjay shows up and says, hi, I'm Sanjay. I'm also a bad guy. You will remember me from 2 scenes ago. I am in this movie. And then he kills him too.
Yeah. And then they like walk out of there, him and Aurora,
he passes
and they're
out
fucking
on the
national
pool
heroes.
table.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was kind of weird. And then she goes down there.
Yeah, he just takes a little nap.
And she's like, Jonathan. And he's like, oh. And she's like, what are you fucking doing? And he's like, I just killed everybody I wanted to kill, so I thought I'd just get a few Z's in before I went up to be a town hero.
Yeah, I'm national hero, and people have revolted.
And they get in the back of a sheep truck.
Yep. First, they're going to go find a doctor.
Where do they go?
And then she's going to take him home to her bedroom, which is a cardboard.
Busted stitches.
Which is
it's a fucking cardboard box.
Yep.
She lives in a cardboard box.
But a refrigerator box. So it's got room.
All right. Question time. Is the Running Man how we get rid of Vladimir Putin?
No, he's going to be the guy that starts that.
The Running Man? Okay.
Yeah.
Damn it. Did you watch it?
The movie The Running Man? Yes.
No, the TV show as with Vladimir Putin, the producer.
No, I did not watch. I did not know he has television shows. I thought that all of the Russian TV was his television show.
Sam. Are you seriously kidding me that you think that it's a I'm saying like this movie is the Running Man. I would think
if he would. I thought that all of the shows in Russia were his TV shows.
They are.
And there's probably like Love Boat on the Island by Vladimir Putin, and I'm sure it blows ass.
We should actually make that like a mock Russian Love Boat. Do you
Love Boat on an island? The boat's actually been beached. It's just stuck there.
How do you like Love Boat? I love Love Boat. It is a great place for us to make babies, more babies, baby, and that's all it is. It's just like a propaganda film for Russian population. There is no
Mother Russia. Boat loves you until you can't afford it anymore.
But we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. This movie is just the fucking shitty Running Man, which is a shitty Rollerball, but in Russia. So,
but not even in Russia, just in the former Eastern Bloc. Because I swear to God,
the owner of the team is Russia. Leon the Professional is the owner of the whole sport, and he's Russian. So,
and he's former KGB.
It's a Russian sport. And he's the owner of it, which means the Russians own it. It's a Russian sport.
Sure.
So it's Putin's.
Anyway, my first question.
No, I got to do my second. Okay. How much money would Seagal need to portray Vladimir Putin like this? Like, what do you think it takes for Steven Seagal to be in a movie that would say Vladimir Putin sucks? Give me a price tag.
Well, he wouldn't.
How many wiretaps does he get?
Well, okay, who's he wiretapping?
That's the real question. You got to wiretap everybody once you get into that business.
Yeah, it seems so. Ex-wives? Well, he doesn't. I mean, he's got ex-wives, but
Kelly LeBrock, wiretapper.
Wiretapper. Okay, so 18 wiretaps he's got.
18 wiretaps not enough.
It's not enough. Okay,
he's too smart for that.
Steven Seagal's too smart for 18 wiretaps.
He'd say something like that. It's not enough. It's not enough. Too smart for that. That's why I tap the blood bank.
Okay. All right. It's not a cash equation with Steven Seagal's wiretaps.
How long do you want to wait around to see if he can make a decision? How about that?
How about carrots, Sam? How many carrots does he get? I am a master of dance as well. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck Steven Seagal. Okay, Jackie, sorry. Go.
I believe Sam had a question.
Okay, Sam, it's your question time.
So there's no money, right?
In rollerballing? Or just
I mean, like they had made money, maybe. Did they ever get any money?
Okay, so in the hospital, him and LL are given 2 huge wads of cash because LL's place.
They don't have any money.
They don't. It was in the fucking van. That money is gone.
Well, no, the money that they gave them, the 2 wads of cash, was just to escape because their money isn't real and it can't be repatriated.
I thought they were dollars.
Like nobody actually made any money.
Nobody made it. Okay, yeah.
There was never any money.
No money.
Like when John Renault's like, I don't have to own the mine. I own the man who owns the mine. And then Chris Klein's like, how does that work? And he's like, he does what I tell him. And then Chris Klein's like, so he gets all the money and then he tells his workers to maybe gamble with you and you might get some of that money. That's your plan? Yeah, that's my plan.
I own the country. The country doesn't. It's descended into anarchy.
There's no money.
There's no money. It's had an economic collapse by your own fucking lack of complete understanding of how money works, you moron.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's the idiot plot.
Well, again, we'll get to that because I don't even. You guys have explained more to this. I couldn't tell what was happening when I was watching it.
It's so vague. Jackie, questions?
Do you think LL Cool J made it? And they just don't address that at all. Like, he got winged in the arm, so he lost control of the motorcycle.
Or it's just like it blew out the ass end of the motorcycle.
Yeah. And so he was in a motorcycle accident. He probably has a few broken ribs, blah, blah, yada. But he does crawl his way over the border and then just says, fuck you, Chris, you butthole.
He gets over there and he's like, I just need to get my money from Kazakhstan. And they laugh at him and he's like, what? And they're like, there's no money. And he's like, fuck. So what do I do now? And they're like, you have to work over there until you can get out of this country for real. Which is never, because you're one of the waiters on the Love Boat Island.
Okay, I got a better scenario. We know that bike can go 125 miles an hour on dirt in a field. So as he's going up on asphalt through that ramp, he fucking clocks it, jumps that fucking ramp. The ass end of the motorcycle is like, no, he powers it, but he makes it this time. Except for when he lands, he bounces right off that motorcycle, lands on the concrete, slides under the border, but his entire face comes off, slides under the little yellow marker bar that comes up and down, and the guy on the other side of the border says, safe! He's dead, because he...
Yeah.
Safe! It's funny. Okay, all right. I know how jokes work. I'm not sure how you guys do. It's what Frank Drebin would do. Okay. All right. Are we ready for final recommendations?
So what happened, though? Like, really, let's try to sum this up. What happened here? What happened in this movie? A guy who was a loser becomes a big-time guy in a sport that's dumb and not real.
And not watched by people. Don't forget, we can't forget this, that he's trying to pursue a Western audience, which is the entire audience. I'm not throwing the people of Russia under, but it's a small market. It's a very small market. You get the West, you get a big market. So this is a small sport.
Yeah, so there's not really any money in this sport. And then a government that was already toppled doesn't really topple, but the people that were running the sport are dead. And he lives there now?
Yeah, he lives there now. He's now a farmer.
So that what I just said doesn't make sense if I was writing a screenplay. If I was selling this, I would be like, a guy that's fast on skates goes to a place that may or may not have a government and still doesn't have a government, doesn't get any money. He lives there now. There was a bad guy who's dead.
So, I mean, is he any different than Vince McMahon? Hey-oh. I mean...
Well, I was reading one of the reviews and it was like, this checks the boxes for all the 13-year-olds on a plot. And I'm like, but does it? And I don't think it does, because Robert Hamburger would write a better script.
Did anybody die other than LL Cool J who were told that he's dead,
Jean
but
Reno.
we're not really sure if he's dead? No, I mean, these
athletes.
Sergey, but that's KGB shit.
I'm not sure that Sergey is dead. You guys say that he is. I
fucking
never saw
sports?
Sergey.
Did anybody die from sports?
Did anything happen in this fictional country that doesn't just happen every day?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Sergey probably did die, but it's because, he Navalny'd stuff.
So if your question is this the idiot plot, to me, you have to prove that this movie has a plot first.
Nothing existed. Oh my God, dude, we just cracked it. I was wondering where I was at on this. This is the worst movie we've ever reviewed. This is the worst Monster movie we've ever done. The plot doesn't exist. It cannot exist by its own rules.
Impossibly difficult to watch. And hands down, the night vision scene is the worst piece of shit that I've ever seen put in a theater.
Mortal Kombat.
There is not one sequence that has ever been put in a theater that is that bad. It is terrible. It is incredibly bad.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation was handcuffed by its own A, ineptitude, B, budget, and C, lack of anybody like wanting Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And so it's probably our second worst reviewed movie of all time. We hate it. I'll never watch it again. This is way worse. Way fucking worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's the worst movie.
This is the worst movie that I've seen that's made by the Hollywood system.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Hollywood system movie that is this bad. This is like Pluto Nash is a stalwart filmmaking effort by comparison. Pluto Nash.
Which is why I'm going to give this movie a 100% absolutely do. I'm going to go first. Do it. This is I'm not saying I hated it, but I'm saying it's so everything not what William Shakespeare tried to teach us. This is bad storytelling. It's the idiot plot. It's the lack of...
It's not. You have to prove to me that there's a plot. It's the Monster a Go-Go
plot. It doesn't exist. It can't exist by its own rules. The acting's shit. The action's shit. Everything is shit. This movie is shit. It's total shit.
It's shit.
This is my go-to now when I want to tell people what the worst movie I've ever seen is. You gotta watch it. This is the worst that there is. Damn.
Yeah, you gotta do it if you haven't seen it because it's that bad. What sucks is you won't be able to make it into a drinking game. You won't be able to do anything with it. You're not going to be able to riff it because for the first 25 minutes, you're going to be like, what is happening? You will just stare at the screen and the editing will hurt your eyes. And you'll be like, what's happening? Why is this happening? What is happening in front of me right now? You won't know because it's that bad.
I mean, I'm going back. Sorry, I don't mean to jump in before Jackie. But like, think about the movie Driven. We didn't like Driven because... A, it sucks, but B, it's super boring. This movie is not boring.
No.
Rollerball is not boring, and it's a 1-star movie. How do you do that?
It's so confusing. And it's only confusing if you invest yourself in trying to figure out what's going on, and you won't be able to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now.
You have to try. Jackie, go.
You have to try.
It's your turn on me.
I give it an absolute do. I had a great time with this. It was action-packed from front to back. I didn't really care that there wasn't really much of a plot. I followed it fine, but...
I don't think you did!
I really think that, for me, it was just about the ultra-violence, and I liked that.
Oh, but that's the heartbreaker of the movie, is that this is not the ultra-violence, Jackie. There was a cut of this film that is the ultra-violence. Very hard R, and we didn't get it. I mean, think about everything we've bitched about over 10 years of podcasting. Like where the Men in Ties come in and fuck movies over. Yeah. Where directors come in and say, no, I'm the guy that can handle this. Where low talent actors come in and say, no, I'm a big fucking deal. I'm going to be the next fucking Keanu Reeves. This is it. This is the culmination of 10 years of this fucking show in one goddamn movie. Everything we fucking said that Hollywood does wrong has come to this point. And I mean, yeah.
They wiretapped people.
They fucking wiretapped people. This is film
Each
series.
other.
This is an important movie for Stinker Madness. I'm very glad Jackie picked it because I had totally fucking forgot about it. It's everything Stinker Madness. This movie sucks and you have to watch it.
And it's got a weird backstory, which makes it even better.
Yeah, that's thumbs up, honey. Okay. All right. I hate to say it, but that's the end of this show. That was a big one. Whew. That's a dream catcher episode. I'm not going to forget this one, guys. That's going to go.
No, it's terrible. It is like Dreamcatcher. What a fine movie.
What an amazing masterpiece. The movie said it all compared to this fucking turd. I don't know where we go from here, but next week it's my pick. I can't just pull some shit. I was thinking like Humanoids from the Deep or some dumb fucking B movie, but now we gotta do a palate cleanse, and I'm gonna have to come up with something. It might be Breen. It might be Breen.
You know what I saw on the Tubi when I was searching for this was Rollerblade is on Tubi. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well.
The original, the movie that made $1 million off a $1,000 budget.
We'll see. Have a great week, guys. Get to the chopper.